Welcome to the Nerd Pow Wow. Follow us on YouTube where we upload new videos every Friday, or check us out on your favorite podcast platform. Or we're also live under SeraphTheHost every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spoiler warning, we do deep dives on characters, storylines, and theory crafting. With that said, Seraph, what are we talking about today? Well, I'm glad I asked. We are talking about some dead men walking, The Walking Dead. We're talking about heroes, characters, villains even, characters who, in one way or another, effectively lost their lives, but either through sheer force of will or through mutant powers, they are able to overcome death to squeeze just a little bit more out of life, just a little extra juice out of life. Some with varying degrees of success.
It's our voices with your imagination. Our theories take us down endless rabbit holes. We give our fellow nerds something to consider at the gaming table. Follow us as the Nerd Pow Wow.
Welcome to the Nerd Pow Wow. Follow us on YouTube where we upload new videos every Friday, or check us out on your favorite podcast platform. Or we're also live under SeraphTheHost every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spoiler warning, we do deep dives on characters, storylines, and theory crafting. With that said, Seraph, what are we talking about today? Well, I'm glad I asked. We are talking about some dead men walking, The Walking Dead. We're talking about heroes, characters, villains even, characters who, in one way or another, effectively lost their lives, but either through sheer force of will or through mutant powers, they are able to overcome death to squeeze just a little bit more out of life, just a little extra juice out of life. Some with varying degrees of success. So I have one pretty famous example, which is Magneto. Recently there was a story in it was X Judgment Day, which is Avengers X-Men Eternals, where Magneto had his heart ripped out by Uranus, which is that the correct way to pronounce that? I've never actually heard it pronounced.
I've only ever read it too. I've never heard anybody.
All right. Hey, fair enough. Nobody's going to correct me, so that's perfect.
Uranus,
Thanos' uncle, I guess, during Marvel's Judgment Day storyline. And basically, Magneto's heart was done, but Magneto was able to control the iron in his own body, and his ability to control electromagnetic fields allowed him to keep his heart pumping, and he essentially made himself like a magnetic heart in a way that kept him alive for a little while so he could keep fighting. Hands just straight through his chest. Yeah, it's brutal stuff for old Magnus. But you know, he was able to continue to fight for about an hour, I believe. It was super taxing, and ultimately he ended up dying from the blood loss. But for a good while, he was able to keep that blood pumping through.
That's an amazing story.
Thematically, it almost makes sense with his ability to create or to control any stuff down to that kind of level. The iron in your blood, you could literally pull your blood around your body. He's like, it's keeping it circulating.
That's
it's a little crazy bridge, like a little magnetic bridge. Like,
yeah, that's really impressive that he could do that, especially as taxing is. Oh, because he was still continuing the battle, so he has to concentrate on. Oh, I got to make my blood circulate. And I was like, oh, this guy's. He just ripped my heart out. I got to protect myself from ripping my head off. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. No, and Magneto of a lot of villains, he is definitely one that cocks his hat as he pleases, and it's he has a plan. He's going to do everything he can to try and see it through, or do what he can for the mutant race, and so yeah. that was an awesome storyline. But seeing that,
Oh, yeah.
and then the next one I want to talk about, those two were the ones that really kind of inspired me for this talking point. We have Green Lantern, the Guy Gardner version, in DC versus Vampires, World War V, Darkness and Light #1. Guy Gardner was ripped in half by a vampire version of Wonder Woman, but he refused to die. What do we know about the Green Lanterns? Well, the Lantern Corps finds Green Lanterns based on their will. And boy, this Guy Gardner have some will. Basically, he was ripped in half, and using his will and his imagination, because that's kind of how the Green Lanterns work. He was able to he was able to simulate a body, basically. So he what he did is, using his will, he made constructs for his organs, and basically all those organs he lost, he recreated in his body to try and keep himself alive, or at least to emulate some functions. We have a hamster wheel literally spinning inside of his tum-tum. So maybe he didn't know how the human body worked, but boy howdy, he knew how to will it to work well enough to keep him going. And the other thing is, he has to be conscious to use this ability. So not only that, but he made synthetic versions of the chemicals that the brain needs to stay awake. And he willed those with his Green Lantern powers so that he never had to fall asleep either. And he could keep himself going. So he had this cool kind of like insect to the fly kind of vibe, walking around on these, he just kind of morphed the bottom half of his body however he needed to. And so the vibe is very weird body horror and some kind of mad scientist, which really fits kind of that dark DC universe theme. So it's that between that and the Magneto, I was like, there's got to be more characters like this, and we found a couple. Do you guys want to talk about it?
Go ahead.
So I made a list of more so than the battles where basically hearts are ripped out or people are ripped in half. One cool story is with Omega Red, when the Soviets created him. His alloys created of carbonadium, and it's constantly poisoning him. So he has to use those tendrils to suck life force. Humans do okay for him, but he needs mutant powers really to sustain himself. Otherwise, I remember then the animated series where he went down in that the submarine, Wolverine and Storm got out. I'm like, how's he gonna live? There's nothing to suck power out of. But it's the story, the comics. The stories are always gonna, he survives. He can pull the little life force out of the submarine until it comes to the surface or something like that. But that was a really cool one. And then Mr. Sinister's always been one of my favorite characters, and Nathaniel Essex basically made himself the way he is, and now his body is indestructible. You could shoot a hole through him, you could cut his arm off, and it just regenerates and regrows.
Yeah,
he's also he's super old too, right?
He was born in the 1800s.
Yeah, so he's definitely a Walking Dead man at this point.
And I don't think they've ever said he's immortal, but how long is he going to live? Who's going to live longer, him or Wolverine? Because, speaking of Wolverine, I mean, he's been a walking skeleton in the past.
That's true.
And there's no reason that he should be okay. Skeletons don't have organs or brains or
nothing
anything.
To start from, yeah.
But
and that skeleton's not even his damn skeleton.
No, it's
his skeleton's actually encased inside of that structure.
Exactly.
Yeah, they had another one. It was I'm not gonna be able to quote it offhand, but it was an annual. Remember when they used to have annuals, like the one-off annual comic for it would have. So it was an X-Men annual. They were fighting this. I think it was an alien of some type. The guy was pretty godlike, and he did the same thing. He stripped it, but when he did it, this one drop of blood goes towards the energy crystal. I don't know if it was the McRan crystal or not. I don't remember, but that one blood touches it, and he completely heals from it with an adamantium skeleton. I'm like, wait, wait.
Should be a Magneto ripping the adamantium out of a skeleton situation there, but you know.
So is that a dead blood hero?
What's funny about it too is that talking about the carbonadium poisoning Omega, that Wolverine's adamantium actually inhibits his powers as well. So he's actually, everybody in that Wolverine verse is somehow negatively affected by the metal or the material that was introduced to them to use as a weapon.
Sucks to be both of them. Jeez.
Yeah, because even when Magneto ripped Wolverine's metal off his skeleton, his healing factor actually got better.
Crazy, yeah.
It went crazy.
Yeah, he mutated further to become rather bestial too.
Feral Wolverine.
Yep.
Yep.
Very cool stuff.
More feral Wolverine.
Yeah.
We've always had feral Wolverine.
Yep. Another example. So I wasn't just keeping this to Marvel. I was thinking characters in general. Now, here's one for our action fans, okay? Jason Statham. Just the actor. First of all, just the actor. Like, in general, like, all right, I'm going to describe this movie, and when one of you gets what the movie is...
I can tell you what the movie is before you read it.
Oh, sugar. Yeah, I already shared that. Yeah, that's fair.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
that's not what it is. Is that I know I'm kind of a Statham fanboy. I love the way the guy fights. It's just gritty. It's perfect. So I'm really familiar with his movies. And there's one movie, and it had a sequel that applies so well to this conversation.
So yeah, in his one action movie, he was an assassin named Chev Chelios, and he runs amok in Los Angeles. He's really getting into some trouble out there. He was poisoned with a synthetic drug that stops his heart if his adrenaline drops. So, Jason Statham in the movie Crank technically fits in this category because this man did so many crazy things just to stay alive, like public indecent acts with the opposite sex. My God,
so he can keep his heart rate up.
Yeah, like I love the scene where she's like, "No, you can't. You'll fall asleep after," and he's like, "No." So funny. But yeah,
that movie was absolutely great and hilarious all the way through.
Yeah, it definitely deserved its 7.9 on IMDb. That's
grabbing inhalers. He would grab inhalers and be like trying to do the inhalers, whatever he could do, and get his adrenaline up. Oh my God! It's so stabbing himself with like epi-like pen things, like God.
And it's a two-tiered problem. Like, not only is Jason Statham engaging in all these extreme stunts and fights and public, like he's beating up just random, like he's starting shit just to keep his adrenaline up. And he's also trying to find the people who did this to him.
Solving his own murder. Yeah,
solving his own murder effectively. And he's in the search for this antidote, and it's a wild ride. If somebody hasn't seen it, it's just adrenaline addiction. It's a caricature of masculinity. It is a surreal exploration of living on the edge. It's it's a very frantic and very self-destructing kind of story where it's like, okay, if it wasn't set up this exact way, this would be a very depressing movie about somebody going out of their way to destroy their life.
Facts.
Yeah, for sure. And the second movie gets crazy, though. Like, the second movie's so over the top. I think he grabs like an electric fence and like he gets electric powers at some point, just like Magneto or something. I don't know.
Yeah, the first one, they did it so well. They balanced it where you could kind of suspend disbelief and believe all the horse shit for a second because they made it somehow believable.
Yeah,
like
they did too.
And you were rooting for him. It was like the second one was like, come on, guys.
Yeah, the second one wasn't great.
No, but the first one,
well,
what classic.
To believe the second one could exist, you already have to remove all of your disbelief at that point, right?
Yeah.
Because of the way the first one ended. So it's like one of those movies where it's like, okay, well, we already know this kind of BS that it's happening, but we'll give it a shot. And they just lean into it's a little comical. So I don't necessarily recommend the second one unless you really like the first. But the first one was good. I liked it.
Yeah. What they should have done is in the second one, they should have brought another actor in who had the same problem. And at the end, that guy's gonna die, and in walks a really strung out looking Jason Statham. Like he's all kinds of strung out. He's like, no, I got the fix. He's like emaciated. His eyes are this big.
That's great. That's so great. Oh man.
Crank 3.
Yeah. Crank 3, The Return. No, but I mean, if this synthetic drug exists in the Crank universe, why can't there be more Crank movies? Why can't this happen more often?
Right.
I mean, what is it like to live in that society? My God.
Yeah, and you can make it like become a thing. Like every action hero has to have their Crank movie. You know, like, oh, you haven't made it in the action world if you haven't had your Crank movie.
Yeah. Let's grab Arnold from California and throw him in a movie at his age. Come on, Arnold,
Jeez.
You got to.
I'd still watch it.
I would too.
What,
you know, they call those
you guys
teasers
ever watched
when they
Fubar?
take the old action heroes and make movies out of them. But
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah. Well,
The last Rambo was actually pretty good.
have you guys watched Fubar?
No.
That's Schwarzenegger. He's the trying to retire secret agent kind of guy, and he gets drawn back into it. And I don't want to spoil it because there's some things early on that are some early twists that make it really fun. It's a great show. It's a really good show. I mean, it's remarkably good. I was kind of shocked, but I think there's 2 seasons of it. Already, so it's good. It's trying to balance like family life when your family doesn't know that you're a assassin, secret agent, blah blah blah. You know, this guy's who comes over to the house all the time is actually his handler. I mean, all kinds of stuff, and you find out that his family's finding out with you what's going on. It's a good show. It's entertaining. If you like Arnie, you should watch that one. It's newer. I mean, I don't know if it got a 3rd season or not. I hope it did.
I heard Stallone. Did one of you mention Stallone?
Yes, Rambo. He was in a Rambo not too long ago.
Okay.
Well, he's doing Tulsa King, which is a ongoing series, which is really good.
Very good.
I was gonna bring that
Tulsa
one up.
King is very good.
I saw a little bit of that. That's basically he's like a gangster of some sort, gets out of prison, goes to the suburbs, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking run shit out here. Why not?
Yeah, get out of New York. We're sending you to Oklahoma.
Yeah. Well, I love that. They're like, it's almost like they're sending him to, Siberia. You know, they're just sending him somewhere like to grow old and die. And he starts building an empire out there. And then New York's like, what the fuck, man? We need a piece of that pie. And he's like, you sent me out of here. He's like, fuck off.
You sent me out of here to die. Go away.
Yeah.
And then he starts, interacting with. It's really neat too because he starts having problems with crime organizations that were already out there. So there's kind of like this nod to like country crime. People you don't necessarily hear about, like these higher end guys on entire towns in rural America that do exist that they just don't get much play. But they have a lot more power than they should in those areas, and it's interesting.
Yeah,
it looks like They only had 2 seasons of FUBAR, but the second season kind of had an ending, so it just doesn't drop bad. So
Yeah.
So I'll have to look.
but yeah,
Here,
they,
have you guys ever seen I Vampire?
I Vampire.
Yeah, I Vampire is. I'm not too keen on it, but it's another one that kind of fits. Is she clinically gets turned into a vampire, so her body is dead, and she's got to feed on blood to sustain herself like a normal vampire. But she's with it. She's coherent. She knows. I mean, she's not an automaton or anything. She knows what the heck's going on.
Yeah. That's wild because I read a book. And I'm not familiar with that. And I read a book called I Vampire by I think the author's last name is Bromke. It was a good series of books, like Confessions of a Vampire in His Life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it just took me back to that. I was like, it can't be that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Another character I have for the topic, Alphonse Eldrick. I know you guys aren't as much into anime, but a lot of people have seen Full Metal Alchemist, which is a pretty common one.
Oh yeah, Alphonse in the armor suit.
Yep. So what happened? So basically, in Full Metal Alchemist, it's an anime where 2 young boys, they attempt to resurrect their mother. They turn to a forbidden form of alchemy to try and do resurrection. They, bring all of the costs of a human body, which the idea is equivalent exchange. If you bring all the material, then you can use alchemy to turn into whatever you want. And the idea is you give the same amount of material that you get back. Well, what they didn't calculate for is the human soul. And so when they went to bring their mother back, they had all the components. They thought they were doing the right thing, but they were greeted by a gate where an entity decided that part of the cost was going to be his brother's body, Alphonse's body. So Edward Elric, dubbed the Full Metal Alchemist, sacrifices his arm and leg to basically save the soul of his brother and bind it to a suit of armor. And basically, Alphonse is just a suit of armor. He has no body parts in there. It's just a little blood seal drawn sloppily in the back of his armor. And if that seal is ever destroyed, he is a dead Alphonse. But yeah, Full Metal Alchemist, they did a reboot more recently than the original main series, which is a little bit more streamlined, a little bit easier to follow, I think, too. But Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. So yeah, I recommend that.
Did you watch the live action one at all?
I haven't seen the live action one yet. No,
It's not bad.
No.
It's Japanese, which makes it better to me.
The live action Death Note was it really put me off on Netflix making anime adaptations.
No, yeah, it's dubbed, but I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. I really liked the way they did the demons in that one. They didn't call them demons. What did they call them in that?
The homunculus. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
that's
talking
it,
about?
homunculus. Yeah.
Yep.
They really did a good job. They were cast well, and
Oh, they're cool characters too.
they were just cool characters. They were better than the main character. It was than him. He was okay, but Alphonse and the homunculus were great.
Yeah. And the homunculus
They're
are
really
basically you find out they're creatures that are made when somebody tries to create a human body, like resurrect somebody through alchemy. One of these homunculuses are made. So there's a homunculus linked to his mother's passing.
And they all seem to be kind of linked to sin too.
Yeah,
like
they're the 7
they were
deadly sins.
reminiscent of sins. Yeah, every one of them was.
They quite literally do the 7 deadly sins for the homunculus, and they all match their thing. They have greed, gluttony. Greed's pretty cool. He's able to his power is he's able to change the atoms in his body so that the carbon in his body goes to the surface of his skin and basically just turns his body into like carbon fiber and super durable.
Yeah, he's neat.
Yeah, he's really cool. Yeah, it's a really cool show. But yeah, we have Alphonse Eldrick, Walking Dead man.
Cool. Yeah, I love that stuff. So I actually took things a little bit sideways from this. You guys were talking about people that, are half alive, not alive, undead, dead, not, they don't know they're dead. So I was kind of wanted to bring in some of the people that actually stayed dead, which doesn't happen in comics.
No, not usually.
It's very rare that people stay dead in comics. Like, for instance, I've been a little detached from comics over the last year or so. I've been busy. And I thought Hank Pym was staying dead, but because they killed him off. They merged him with Ultron. He was quite literally like a combined being. But the current Hank Pym is actually a recreation of Hank Pym, and he's actually older. They're kind of, I think they're kind of pushing him towards the MCU look and type instead of being the younger Hank Pym that they've always been in the comics. But he's not actually he's not actually the same Hank Pym. He's a recreation. So he's actually dead, but they've brought him back. So it's the what's the guy from Voyager, that died, and they brought back a different version of him from a different time. Or
that was Harry Kim.
Yeah, Harry Kim.
Harry Kim.
Yeah, but the same thing. It's the same kind of thing. So this is like Pym, but not Pym, not our Pym.
Harry Kim, Frank Pym.
And they did that with the baby too.
Yeah. They actually did it with Picard on a couple occasions.
Well, Picard's an android now.
Yeah, he's an android now, so he's technically dead.
Yeah.
So he's quite literally dead, and we just have his consciousness running around.
Yeah.
Who knows what that is? But yeah, so he was. But even in the comics, Hank Pym admits to himself that he's a mind/consciousness recreated from Ultron, and that the original Hank Pym is dead and his soul is destroyed. That happened in the comics. His soul was completely destroyed. So this is just like a soulless copy, almost like a biological android with the download. It's kind of neat. Another one, this is a character that I liked a lot, and his comics ended when I was really young, but I still had a bunch of them. So I don't know, one of my uncles or somebody had collected them, but it was Ulysses Bloodstone. He was a monster hunter, and he had a bloodstone embedded in his chest. He was actually a caveman originally. He's been alive for a long time, and that's what he did. He was hunting monsters, trying to find the ones that killed his original village. And the series actually ends with him getting revenge on them for killing his village and everything else. And they just left him dead. He's been dead since. His daughter has taken up the mantle. Elsa Bloodstone has taken up the mantle. And she's pretty cool. She's been in a couple different series. She was in one called Blood Hunters. It was an all-female vampire hunting group for a while. And it had Elsa Bloodstone, White Widow, which is Yelena, the Black Widow that we now know from the comics. She's the White Widow in the comics. Who was the third one? It was hold on a second. I got to remember who that was. Widow or Dagger. Of Cloak and Dagger. Dagger's part of that group. And then the last one is neat. It's a girl named Hallows Eve, and I'm not overly familiar with her, so I did a little bit of research. She is the girlfriend of Ben Reilly, who was a clone of Peter Parker. He was another one of the Spider clones. She's very Mary Jane looking. All the Peter Spider boys want redheads apparently, but she has a finger from Sim, the demon from Limbo, and using the mystical power of that, she creates masks, and each one of her masks has a power. It's really neat. And then she calls herself Hallows Eve, dressing up for Halloween. It's kind of a neat. I plan on looking up her character and doing some reading because she's quite the interesting character.
Yeah,
but
Elsa Bloodstone, she was on a Werewolf by Night, right? Was that the Disney movie they put out?
Yeah, I believe she did have an appearance in there. She's really a cool thing there.
Laura says up here, iZombie is another movie show type one where they're dead, but they're coherent, they're conscious.
I enjoyed that show. I enjoyed that show a lot.
Yeah.
My Zombie was fun. I like the idea of solving crime by eating people's brains. Like, we don't need that anymore.
Yeah, vampires suck blood, zombies eat brains.
Well, what they didn't need on that one was what they didn't need in iZombie was it wasn't as simple. They could have made it overly simple, just be like she gets the memory, she goes and solve a crime, but she actually takes on part of their persona. Like she's affected by more than just the memory. So it's like, yeah, she knows, but she like adapts kind of who they were in a way, and it reminded me. Was reminiscent of what's the zombie love story that we've talked about before? I like so much. Nicholas Hoult. Warm Bodies.
Yeah, Warm Bodies.
Yeah, Warm Bodies. Yeah. It's a great show. It's similar concept, but they kind of get something from the brain more than whatever. But anyway, so yeah, Bloodstone was a cool character, and he had a full story arc, and they ended it, and it was done. And I thought that was kind of neat. It's atypical of comics in general. And as a matter of fact, the neat thing, another side note to that, is if you haven't read them, you should go back and read the Avengers 1959. It was an Avengers group that it's all in flashback form, but Bloodstone was a member of that team. And the team was neat. It was Dum Dum Dugan from the Howling Commandos, Nick Fury himself, Victor Creed, Sabretooth was part of it, Dominic Fortune, Namora, who is Namor's cousin, who has the same mutation he does with the winged ankle, so she can fly.
Name.
Namora,
yeah, right? Namor. And Craven the Hunter, which was interesting. And then
Craven.
Yeah, so and then Silver Sable, but not the female thief. It was her dad. He was the Silver Sable mantle of that time. So it was a really neat comic. It was really enjoyable. They were part of the New Avengers for a while. It was a good line. I think that was like mid 2000s, like 2010 or so. That was kind of a thing. So that one was kind of interesting. And then there's two last ones that I would be remiss. One is Captain Marvel. Marvel he's might be my favorite comic character. I mean, I really liked Marvel. Now he died of cancer. He was which was also a piece of social commentary of cancer. It's still terrifying, but there was a time when cancer was just such a daunting thing. Just a daunting thing. And it was just really, I don't know, it was a really true thing to have him die of cancer and then stay dead. They've resurrected him twice with just a one-off kind of thing. And the first time he was just killed again. The second time he was resurrected with the McCrane, however you pronounce it, crystal, using some of the Phoenix Force. And she was coming to Hala, which is the Kree homeworld, to get that Phoenix Force back. So he sacrificed himself to give the Force back to her, and that was what was keeping him alive. So he was just kind of borrowed back. He wasn't really reborn.
Well, hey, at that, I mean, heck, the Phoenix, quite literally.
Yeah,
there we go, Jean Grey.
Yep.
Yeah. And then lastly, this might be the coolest stay dead thing I've ever heard. So Don Hall, it was Hawk and Dove. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them, but they were some vigilantes in the Batman verse. Teen Titans, Batman verse kind of thing. No powers. They're just badass vigilantes who go out and kick the hell out of bad guys. And a lot of times they're beat up for it, and they're not like the best there is. They're not Batman. They're not Robin. They just are doing it because they're compelled to be a force of justice. They're a hero
and they're doing their best.
Yeah,
they're like a kick-ass.
Yeah, there is a much. They're better at it than anyone, but there is some correlation there, but there's some parallels there. But the neat part is that he died. I think during the anti-monitor crisis of Earth, he was saving something. Like his final act was saving a child, and he got vaporized by one of the shadow demons. But during the whole Blackest Night thing, when the Black lanterns were bringing people back from the dead with Black Lantern rings. It was a big arc in DC. Pretty cool. The ring tried to get to him, and it's in a force of the universe said that his soul was meant to rest for all time, and prevented. It was like a cosmic force that they didn't really name much. It was like, yeah, no, not Don. Don's got his place. He's earned his peace. Let it be. They were prevented by the rings couldn't even get near his grave by an invisible barrier. They really didn't define it. It was just kind of like, yeah, we're not touching this one. So that's just kind of cool. Like, I thought that was kind of neat. In a universes and comic lines that are always bringing them back. There's a few out there that stayed dead, and they stayed dead in kind of a cool in a cool way. So
Yeah,
that was kind of
I like that. I like that take on it.
Yeah, and you can't say Aslan. That's like it tugs at my freaking heartstring when we start talking about Aslan.
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
I'm getting my lion movies mixed up.
Mufasa, Aslan, same character.
Yeah, so they're big lions. They're big fuzzy lions with a nice name.
Wayne's like quoting the hyenas. Say it again. Say it again. Say it. Aslan. No, it's Mufasa.
Oh, jerks!
Oh my gosh,
it's funny, but yeah.
When I was looking at there's some DC characters I had never heard of. Rybane probably he's our DC expert of the group. But one character was really his name is
Somebody
Deadman.
has to be Rybane.
Yeah,
if it's comics, I mean, I lean more towards Marvel, but I'm pretty immersed everywhere.
So this guy's name is Deadman. That is his name, Deadman. He's a murdered trapeze artist. He exists as a spirit possessing others to do good. So he's a good murdered trapeze artist. So I thought that was cool. It's like, well, that's kind of he's a dead man. That's his name.
Yeah.
But when he inhabits people and does good through their bodies, he's just he just possesses them and then fights crime as them. It's kind of crazy, but he's a neat character. As a matter of fact, superheroes you hear in some of the comics he's been in, superheroes have heard him or I've seen him talking about like if they've ever had dead man, like if they've ever been possessed or he ever written, it's just kind of like hey, have you ever encountered dead man? Because nobody's ever really seen him. They don't necessarily know what he looks like. We as the reader do, because he has to be represented in some way. But he's an interesting character. I really like Dead Man.
Then there was the character we were talking. He played in the newest Superman movie, Metamorpho. Metamorpho. Sorry, Metamorpho. He is just gas, liquid, or a solid. There's like no anatomy, no organs, no rules. He's just a steam.
Yep.
And, it's like, well, there you go. I mean, the laws of physics just don't apply, but this guy's alive.
I mean, whenever I have dairy, I seem to turn into a gas entity too.
Oh my god.
Lactose doesn't like when you get older, I've noticed.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yep. Oh my god.
What's funny is Metamorpho was more of a Batman character in the comics. He was actually there was a line of comics for a long time called Batman and the Outsiders. It was Batman, Black Lightning, Katana, a guy named Geo or Geoforce or something, and Metamorpho. And there was another character too, a girl with like a rainbow suit, but I don't remember who she was or what her power was. But yeah, Batman was a cool comic. What's that?
Sailor Moon,
yes. But Metamorpho was part of that group. That's where I originally encountered him. As a matter of fact, I'm wondering if he's that's where he appeared first. I'm kind of curious about that now.
another one I found was Animal Man. His body is secondary to a cosmic force.
Ooh.
Basically can function beyond normal physical damage. His reality itself bends around him for him to exist.
That's like a Franklin Richards type deal there.
Yes.
Almost.
There you go.
Yeah, there's Proteus, Franklin Richards, a couple of those people were a little.
Should have just given Franklin to Galactus. He wanted the baby. Just let him have it. Spare Earth.
Baby.
Yeah, he just wanted it.
Once before, that's all.
Halo, that was that girl's name. Halo was that girl's name that was in The Outsiders too.
Mm-hmm.
But Metamorpho actually came about way earlier than I thought he did. He's from 1959.
Oh wow.
Oh no, 65. Sorry, excuse me, 1965.
That's a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, he was in the Brave and the Bold 57. That's getting up there. And he was in the Doom Patrol as well. But he's a great character. I've always liked. Yeah, and they actually call him, say that he is a group from an Egyptian gods. He's a metamorphe. It's kind of they're almost like jinn in a way. Then that they can be gaseous, solid, whatever. So
I like that. That's a cool take on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're made of clay. They're not born. They're created. Yeah, so they're neat. There's a few of them.
I have an honorable mention for DC since we're in the DC landscape still. This character didn't necessarily do it for themselves, but we have another Green Lantern Corps reference here with Hal Jordan. Kyle Rayner used the Green Lantern ring to create a perfect construct of a heart for Orion. He maintained that heart with pure willpower for 28 hours straight until Orion could get surgery, and their life was saved.
Wow.
Nice.
So you created a heart out of the ring.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's really
kind of similar-ish to Magneto and kind of similar to what Guy Gardner did, but it wasn't for himself, it was for somebody else. I'm like, that's an honorable mention because it's really cool and it kind of combines the two things, but definitely not, I don't count that one as technically in the category, but...
DC also has a character named Resurrection Man.
What's his power?
Death is his power. He dies repeatedly. He resurrects with a new power. So it kind of reminds me of Moira McTaggart in a way, because she lives a whole life, dies, and then comes back. Lives a whole life, dies, comes back. But yeah, resurrection.
Yeah.
Sometimes he comes back wrong. He comes back unstable, or he comes back mid-transformation. That would be interesting.
That'd be bad. Well, I mean, we're talking about resurrections and stuff too. We had the whole Krakoa saga where they were just respawning mutants whenever. That was the most canon. We're not going to let our favorite characters die, and this is how we're going to do it way ever. They're all just pod people from Krakoa.
Yeah, because wasn't there like a group of 4? I know Proteus was 5. Proteus was one of them.
What's that?
Proteus. He was one of the 5.
Proteus, the Cuckoo Sisters.
It wasn't Polaris. Was Polaris part of it?
I don't think so. Hold on a second. I remember Hope Summers, of course.
Oh yeah.
What stopped them from just making clones of the heroes in general? Like to just have like 20 Hope Summers just out there fighting?
Nothing.
Oh, okay, cool.
Nothing. Yeah, I think Elixir, Proteus, and Tempest, and then Hope Summers was part of them too. I know Cypher had a lot to do with running of Krakoa, but yeah, that was such an OP kind of thing, and that's the kind of thing that just creates loopholes, like you said. It's it reminds me of the transporters in Star Trek.
Yeah.
you really have transporter. You no longer have aging. You no longer have medical issues. You no longer have any of that.
Everyone's healed.
Because the minute you can break a body down and reconstruct a perfect copy of it somewhere, you can then modify that code to do it from an earlier model, or or create, fix an abnormality. If a person's wounded, they get shot, blown off a limb, send them to the transporter. They're all right. Just make sure you got enough. Not if it's true beaming technology like they say it is, that's a little odd, but it explains the range. Which the beaming thing explains the range, but if it's true beaming technology, you need to make sure you have enough mass for all that. But like you get teleported and after losing a limb to save it, and you're like, I'm 4 inches shorter.
You didn't put me back together.
Right.
Well, one of the episodes in Star Trek was Dr. Pulaski went over to the space station and they contracted a virus that made them age fast. So she was an old lady. Well, they were able to find a hair sample from a hairbrush in her quarters, used the transporter, put the DNA sample in the transporter, and all of a sudden they put her back to her regular age.
So you can do that.
You could do that. So basically, if I'm 10 years old and I keep my hair sample in like a little baggie in a safe, I'm 70 years old. Here, what's stopping me from taking this hair sample out of this baggie and being 10 years old again?
The really crazy part about that is your DNA doesn't alter or change as you age like that. Your DNA, there's no difference in your DNA sample of you from 10 years ago to now. So that's going. I don't know. The Star Trek's really bad for that. I mean, I love Star Trek. I'm a huge Trekkie, but I have to suspend this. The science loving part of me is like, oh Christ, what are they doing?
I think Star Trek, they have the Prime Directive, or that whole thing. I think they also have a thing like, we will not cheese unless it's relevant for the plot, and then they'll cheese it like a motherfucker, whatever the thing is.
Yeah, we can't have Dr. Pulaski die of old age. Come on, we need her for the rest of season 2.
The writers are like, we need plot convenience, and we don't care how we get it. Kind of like the Krakoa arc. They're like, hey, you know what? We hate having to write about characters dying. Let's just have a bunch of characters we can throw in a meat grinder. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. Good story.
Yeah. The writers of the comics, the writers of Star Trek, they must have done something right, because they're very, very successful.
True.
True. Well, that's what it is they create a couple things. 75% of what they create is amazing. Like, we bond with it. So so we become so in love with the product and the characters and what they've created that when something so fucking crazy happens on the outside, we're like, that's okay. We don't need to look at the other 25%. We'll just stay over here on the 75% we love.
This is the good part.
That's right. That is exactly, you're explaining me to a T when it comes to Star Trek.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about it.
Nice.
I like literally your face when I said that about Picard. Your face kind of like, I don't know why we got to bring that up.
Don't tell them about our plot holes. We don't need people not in the know to know.
That's right.
I too love I love the Spot. Firestorm. That's
the
great
Spot.
Yeah,
Great.
the Spot.
And technically, he was thought to be dead. That's true. Yeah. We have actually Siren had a couple of honorable mentions there. We have Frankenstein, Gandalf, the gray to the white.
Frankenstein accounts for how many?
And Harry Potter.
You even have the Bride of Frankenstein.
True.
Yeah.
Yep. You're talking Star Trek, but we also have Star Wars. Darth Maul, the guy with the black face and the pointy horns. He was cut in half, and he survived for years in a trash-filled abyss by using his pure hatred and the dark side of the Force to hold his body together. He eventually used his abilities to scavenge parts and create functional makeshift mechanical legs.
And
Nice.
he was
Good for
walking around
him.
like a drider for a while there. He had like a arachnid bottom. He's like this mechano drider. His race, that he's a Zabrak is the name of their race. The whole race with the horns.
Yeah.
They were a playable race in the Star Wars MMO.
Outlaws or is that what it's called?
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Ah.
Okay.
It was the MMO. It was really good for its time. I really liked that game, but they were one of the playable races.
Nice.
Well, speaking of our buddy Charles Xavier,
your buddy,
he essentially died, but his mind did not die, and he was able to put his mind into somebody else.
That's such
until
a
the Shi'ar
move.
could, until the Shi'ar could come and use their advanced technology and assist him and cure him and blah blah
Xavier
blah blah blah.
nesting doll puts himself in somebody else's brain.
That's
Sorry,
right.
Stowe here.
So they never explain what happened to the person's mind that he took over.
There's another Star Trek reference there. Spock implanting himself into McCoy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's how he resurrected Spock. He just that was really well done. I love when DeForest Kelly's trying to like do the Vulcan nerve pinch, and the guy's like, "What are you doing?"
Well, there's also a Star Trek Voyager when they created Tuvix, the transporter accident.
That episode is as terrible as the makeup was. It's still, there was horrible special effects in that one, but the story was good enough that I actually kind of felt that one.
I did too.
One, you're getting rid of this entity to
wants to live.
That wants to live to resurrect two deceased entities. They died.
Yeah.
They died when he was born. And you're deciding to kill him so that they can live again.
Yeah. I
don't know, man.
And I feel that one every time I watch it too.
Like that one pulls at me because I don't, like as an observer, watching the show, I wasn't really overly attached to Neelix or Tuvok. Both of them could have fallen off the cliff, and it wouldn't have hurt the show much to me. Later on, Tuvok kind of came around.
Is the cook, right?
Yes.
I like that character as a kid. I love Neelix. I wouldn't have watched if Neelix wasn't in there, honestly.
If you would have asked me about season 1 and season 2 Neelix, like get rid of him. This guy's annoying. Get rid of him. But by the time the end of the show, when he actually left Voyager, I'm like, oh man, I wanted Neelix to get back to Earth.
He kind of improved after Kes left. He got better after Kes. So, but I don't know. I just was never a fan of the character. I don't like token characters.
Yeah, I was also a dumb kid, so token characters play well for you, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm a little idiot. I'm going to love anything they shovel at me that's kid-like and funny.
But my point was, as I'm watching that, I'm like, I don't really have any love lust for them. So I'm looking at it from almost an uninvolved party. I wasn't invested emotionally in any of them. But if it were two of my friends that this happened to, would I kill a new life to bring my new friends back?
Tough.
Especially after kind of bonding with that. I don't like. That's a social dilemma that I don't ever want to truthfully answer for.
Ice Knight.
That's a tough one. Talk about fighting with one arm behind your back. We have Cable Nathaniel Summers, honorable mention. He was infected with the techno-organic virus as an infant. He has Omega level telekinesis, but since he has to use that to fight off that virus, to stop it from consuming his biological tissue, he 24/7 has to maintain like this internal containment to try and stop that virus from spreading through his body. So just another character, he's dead, but he's not.
Can we talk about Bishop for a moment? Bishop lost the baby. Bishop's only job was to take him to the future where a cure might be, and he lost the baby. And then he comes back without the baby at a later time.
Does drop kick the baby in the past, in the future.
I lost the baby.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't
you
think
know,
they ever explained totally how Bishop lost the baby. Just Bishop lost the baby.
Sorry, guys.
It's been a long time since I read that, but I believe that Cyclops and Jean Grey go into the future and join the Ensconing and raise Cable as Slim and Red or whatever their
It was Slim and Red, yeah.
yeah, their old nicknames from the old comics. So they were there for him, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
and you do know that Nate Gray, the X-Man from the Age of Apocalypse comics, he's genetically or DNA genetically the same as Cable, with never being infected with the transmode virus. So
that's why he's so powerful.
That's why he's so powerful.
Yeah,
he's God level powerful. But,
yeah, I have two more honorable mentions. We have Guts from Berserk. Berserk's an anime, but man, I'll tell you what, Berserk is very dark, and boy, it makes you. I don't think there's a villain in media that I hate more than I hate the villain in Berserk.
Really,
100%. Yeah, I can think about this character and get myself actively upset and mad.
You're doing it right now.
Yeah, I literally, yeah. So,
like that makes me want to watch the show because
I know, right?
Like, my God,
I hate hating characters, but I do. But what I live for is when, and I hope this happens. Don't tell me, but
yeah,
I live for when a character that I hate so much, I'm seething, finally gets it. When they get their end, it's like when that what's his face Joffrey died a choking, horrible death. I was standing like, yes.
yeah.
Little fucking twisted maggot.
But Guts is he's often like quoted as the character that he's just too angry to die, and with good reason. He's too angry to die. Damn it. But he uses a sheer survival instinct, and it's just his willpower to persist through these energies that would just kill anyone else. And through the story, he ends up getting this like crazy armor that whenever he like breaks bones or like flesh gets torn, the armor just like sucks it in together and kind of makes a cast. And it's like, no, you get to fight through this, but you're still going to feel the pain.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So his like superhero name is like Splint.
No, so it's Guts. He's just an angry dude. But
Okay.
yeah. So there's Guts, and then the last one, comical one here, the Black Knight from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Merely a flesh wound.
Merely a flesh wound. He loses all four limbs, and even though he was completely dismembered, no tourniquets, nothing, just a flesh wound. His
Merely a flesh wound.
Absurdity in not acknowledging his defeat of his body is really his power, right? It is just absurd. It's so absurd. I love it. The Black Knight is great.
They had I believe it was called Time Warriors. It's an old video game. And make sure this is the right one. But that game, you fought as different kind of characters from throughout time. It's caveman, knight, that type of thing. And you could cut off the arms and legs of your opponents.
That's cool.
And the best part was I gotta remember if it was Time Warriors. But you could get an achievement called a limbless victory. They had a limbless victory.
Monty Python.
Your legs.
You can actually brush with your head.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I love that movie.
I think it was called Time Killers, not Time Warriors.
Time Killers.
Time Killers.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the house would start smelling
What was
funny,
it?
and then my dad would start watching Monty Python. It was always a good time. I always liked watching Monty Python.
Yeah. Oh, must be Monty Python tonight.
Yeah. Wow, it's weird. Every night's Monty Python night.
Must really like this movie.
I guess. Yep. Oh my god.
Oh, good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Good talk.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Good banter. Love it. Good stuff. Well, nerds, if you guys can think of any characters who are defying death that you want to share, drop them in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Please do.
Yeah, always. Yeah, there's as we go down the rabbit hole talking about it, they just keep popping out of the woodwork in my head. Like I keep thinking of more and more characters where like nothing stays dead in fiction. Apparently, it's just against the rule. Because somebody mentioned Gandalf.
Oh yeah,
Gandalf. That's a great one too.
Yep.
Because even in the books, they never really get into that transition. Like he was, something happened more to it.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to know more about that one. But yeah, there's a lot of that kind of interesting stuff. But cool. Yeah,
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, nerds. Well, we will we'll catch y'all later, guys. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff on the
ring that bell,
the algorithm or something. Yeah, ring the bell. Do all that stuff. We'd love to see you. Watch the Darkwayne Chronicles. We got tons of shorts bumping out. We got the podcast coming out every Friday, so it's exciting stuff. We love that you're all around on the ride with us here, and
bring in more friends on the live chat. I'm really digging the interaction being live. So if you know people that like to get out and talk about comic stuff, nerd stuff, whatever, and want to bring a little flavor and chat with us in the messenger or the message board over there, that's cool. I really like that.
Absolutely. Well,
but not to be too cliche, but we'll see everyone next year.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah, because the 24th, the 31st, or the next Wednesdays, we'll be back January 7th, 2026.
Wow.
Oh, that's good because I'm going to be in Arizona from the 30th to the 4th, so I'll be back.
What are you getting away from the snow?
The 3rd is that's next year. So yeah, so I'll be back in time for the 7th. That's good. Cool.
There you go.
Nice. All right, guys. Well, this has been the Nerd Pow Wow signing out. See you, nerds.
Later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, step aside and watch how my adoring fans flock to me.